What is up, amigos? Hope you're doing awesome. My name is Maddie, and welcome back to my channel. When was the last time an Indian horror film didn't try to shout in your face, didn't rely on loud background music, or cheap jump scares, or completely dark night scenes to hide what's really going on? Once in a while, a film comes along that doesn't just want to scare you, it wants to unsettle you. Diés Iraé, a Malayalam film, is exactly that kind of film. It's not just a horror movie, it's an experience that feels like your pulse is being slowly taken over by the film itself. This is the kind of cinema where the sound of silence becomes louder than the screams and the fear builds not through what you see but through what you sense. When Rahul Sadasivan released Bhoothakaalam a few years ago, people knew he had something special, a grip on tension, a deep sense of atmosphere. Then came Bramayugam, a period horror film that pushed Malayalam cinema into a darker, grander visual space. And now with Diés Iraé, he completes what only be called a perfect hat-trick. 3 completely different horror films but all bound by one thing: emotion. Because for Sadasivan, horror isn't about loudness, it's about the feeling, and this latest one proves it again, maybe stronger than ever. So the film follows Rohan, played by Pranav Mohanlal, who gets a call about an ex-girlfriend's death. Now what follows is not a mystery, not a whodunit, but a slow, disturbing descent into something unseen. Strange things start happening in his house, sounds in empty rooms, flickers of light, footsteps when no one's around. It's a simple setup, but that's the beauty of it. Diés Iraé doesn't depend on twists or elaborate world building. Its horror comes from stillness. You keep waiting for a jump scare. You get it once here and there, but what gets you instead is the tightening feeling in your chest, like something's closing in on you slowly. The film starts with quiet dread and keeps tightening that rope scene after scene. The second half shifts into more of an investigation. Some of that tension naturally cools down, and yes, the climax feels a bit familiar if you've seen enough horror films, but that is okay, because by the time you reach there, you're already too deep inside this world. What matters isn't the final reveal, it's the journey through silence, fear, and space. Now, Pranav Mohanlal delivers what is easily his best performance to date. He doesn't overact, doesn't dramatize the fear, he simply feels it. You can see exhaustion in his eyes, confusion in his silence, and fear in the way he breathes. It's a film that gives you very little room for dialogue, and yet Pranav makes every scene believable. The supporting cast is limited, but that's by design. Horror like this doesn't need crowds, it needs isolation. It's Rohan versus the unknown, and Pranav makes that loneliness hit hard. Now, coming to the technical aspects, this is where Diés Iraé becomes extraordinary. The cinematography by Shehnaz Jalal is stunning. Wide frames, slow camera moves, controlled lighting, and the lighting deserves a separate round of applause. Unlike most Indian horror films in recent times that hide poor VFX or weak set extensions behind pitch dark frames, Diés Iraé has the confidence to keep things visible and still terrifying. You see just enough to stay scared. Every shadow feels intentional, every source of light feels like a character. This is how you do night scenes without losing clarity. And the sound design is the film's beating heart. Jayadevan and M.R. Rajakrishnan have built an environment where even silence sounds dangerous, and Christo Xavier's score is hypnotic. It doesn't just play in the background, it crawls under your skin. It's mixed in a way that makes the air feel heavy, the walls sound alive. Watching this in a theater with proper sound is a must. This is technical filmmaking at its absolute finest. Every craft department working in sync to build one single emotion: dread. Now, if there's a small dent, it's in the writing of the latter half, as I said earlier. The investigation track slightly reduces the raw tension the first half creates, and the title, Diés Iraé, meaning the day of wrath, doesn't get fully explored. You wish the film went a bit deeper into that concept, but even with those small gaps, the experience is so gripping that you rarely think about them until after the credits roll. Now, if we look at this year in horror, globally we've had conceptually strong psychological films like Together and Bring Her Back, my favorite. But Diés Iraé is different. It's not about psychological layers or hidden metaphors. It's about pure atmospheric horror, the kind that crawls under your skin and sits there. I'd say it even surpasses the first half of Wash Level 2 in building that eerie tension that refuses to let go. By the end of Diés Iraé, you don't clap, you exhale. Because for 2 hours you've been holding your breath without realizing it. It's not a film that entertains you, it consumes you. Rahul Sadasivan once again proves that Malayalam cinema doesn't need to copy Western horror to reach global standards. It already has the talent, the craft, and the courage to build its own. So if you're watching this, I urge you actually to go and watch Diés Iraé. And don't stream it on your phone, please. Find a theater with great sound and a proper screen, because this one deserves to be felt, not just seen. Thank you for watching me today. way, if you like this honest review and the kind of content, please do hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. You take care, stay awesome, and bye-bye.